Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to Residence Life Speaker Series. Unfortunately, this is our last speaker series, but we have saved the best for last. So thank you for joining us today. This program has been brought to you by Residence Life and Housing Services. I'm here with my co-host,
Leah Paulson.
and today we're here with the very funny, hilarious, super talented, also with his singing ability, Cedric Yarbrough. Obviously, he needs no introduction. Cedric, how you doing today?
Hello, hello, hello. How are you, man?
Well, I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Good.
Obviously, you need no introduction, but for those who have never seen you do anything or are not familiar, Cedric is an American comedian, actor, voice artist, and singer who starred in the Comedy Central's television series, which is very funny, Reno 9/11, which is also back with new episodes, so check those out as well, as Deputy S. Jones. He's also been on ABC sitcom Speechless, which is really funny. I saw the when you were trying to see the Queen episode. I thought that was hilarious, as well as doing some voice acting, Officer Meow Meow Fuzzy Face on Netflix, on BoJack Horseman, and doing the voice of Tom on Adult Swim's The Boondocks. So Cedric's here with us. He's here to answer your questions, and he's here to have some fun. So Cedric, take it away. How is everything?
Yeah, hello, everyone. Hello, hello. What's going on? Hi. Yeah, I'm Cedric Yarbrough. It's a weird name. Not Cedric, it's Cedric. Some of y'all have black mamas like I do, and they want to make you special. So
Yes.
That's why my name is Cedric and not Cedric. I'm from Minneapolis. I trained out there. I used to play a lot of sports in high school, but I knew I wasn't the best athlete. So when I went to college, I decided I went to a community college. And they didn't have any sports there, and my friends weren't there, so I could pursue what I wanted to do. In my high school, I don't know about y'all, but in my high school, people in theater were nerds, and I was still trying to be cool. So I always wanted to get into theater, and I always wanted to learn about the stage, but I was too busy trying to be someone else and trying to be cool. So when I went to a community college where none of my friends were there and the theater program was there, that's where I was like, okay, I'm going to go full tilt for it. And so I went to a community college. And then I got a scholarship from doing some of my work in theater to Minnesota State University, where I pursued my theater degree. Then once I got out of college, moved to LA, California, and I started my dream of working in TV and film and in voiceover work. And for me, going to college and learning as much as possible about acting, singing, dancing, voiceover work, I wanted to learn as much as I could, so I would always be employed, so I could learn, every parts of the business. I realized early on, not everyone's going to be checking for me. I'm not white. I'm not gorgeous. Well, I'm gorgeous, but not white. And not everyone's writing stuff for me. So I had to make sure that I could write, I could improvise, that I could create my own vehicles sometimes, if asked. So I did that, moved to LA, like I said, and shortly after I moved to Los Angeles, I had an audition for a show called Ugly Americans. It was a sketch comedy show, and that show was not received very well. It was for Fox Television. We did a pilot for Fox TV. They hated the show. We scrapped that idea, came up with this idea with the same group of people. We came up with this idea of, let's do a show about cops that are really inept, are really terrible at their jobs, and they have a show called Cops. Why not have this other show air right after that? And that show was, of course, Reno 911, and that was my first. That's what I guess I was kind of introduced to the American public and the rest of the world. So that's how I got my start. Briefly, what else can I tell you? I can tell you all kinds of other things, but I thought that'd be my introduction. I could at least tell you how I started.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, before we actually begin, because we're going to allow the students to ask questions, if you're watching from the Facebook stream, please post your questions there. We'll ask Cedric. He's here. He's live for you today. Cedric, we actually have a couple hellos for you first. 2 weeks ago, we had Gary Anthony Williams. So he said that whenever you came on, tell you hello. All right.
He owes me money. He owes me lots of money. I'm pretty much responsible for his career. So hello, Gary. Okay. Yes. And was there another hello? Did Halle Berry say hello?
Halle Berry, listen, we did not get Halle Berry this go around. Maybe we'll get her in the fall. Okay. But the second hello was from Sway. We had Sway yesterday, Shade 45. He said,
yes.
Hey, how you doing? So tell him I said, what's up? So
man, that dude, I love Sway. I just watched an episode of the Boondocks. I haven't watched Boondocks in a while, and it was I watched it last night, and it was our Thug and Love episode with Mos Def that played
Gangstalicious.
Gangstalicious, yes.
Yeah.
Sway that was the first time we had Sway on.
Yeah. It's so Gangstalicious, and who's the other one? Oh, Thugnificent.
Thugnificent. There was Thugnificent. There was Gangstalicious. There was Flow-nominal.
Yeah, I remember Flow-nominal. He was voiced by Busta Rhymes.
Snoop. Well, I think Snoop.
Oh, Snoop. Yeah.
And then Busta, I can't remember which character. But he did voice somebody. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, now I can't either. Now it's bothering me. Big fan of the show. I know some people want to ask you questions about that. We're going to go ahead and jump into some questions. So Leah, take it away.
All right. So our first question is from...
It's from Lisa.
Lisa. So Lisa, go ahead and ask your question.
Where's Lisa?
Okay, here I am.
Oh, there she is, Lisa Bryant.
Yes, that's me. How you doing?
I'm great. Look at your little background. What is that?
This is a park in Chincoteague Island, Virginia, a place where I was right about now. I wish I was there right about now.
Okay.
I know.
Where are you right now? Where are you?
I'm located in Delaware.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is my background.
It's very lovely. This is mine.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, that's very lovely. Very nice. Very nice. Well, first of all, I wanted to say I loved you in Speechless and the Goldbergs. Both crazy shows.
Yes.
So my question is, what is your favorite role and why?
What is my favorite role?
Role.
Yeah, that's a tough question because I would think it would be like picking your favorite child because I mean you love them all for various reasons. When you talk about Speechless or Goldbergs I love doing it just because it's very nostalgic. It's very fun to live in that era. Personally, I didn't get to have a Jerry curl growing up. My mother was very strict about our hair, and I asked her for one, but she said, they're very expensive and you're very irresponsible. And I don't want that Jerry curl juice all over my damn house. But I will give you a choice. You can have a Jerry curl or you can eat. I was like, I'll have the Jerry curl, please. She said, you're an idiot. You're not getting one just because you chose the Jerry curl over food. So I get to live my Jerry curl dream on the Goldbergs. Speechless was a show that I really enjoyed doing because it was the thing is, everyone wants to be seen on TV. Everyone wants to be heard. Everyone wants to be recognized. And for too long, the disability community has not been seen. Or when they are seen, they are seen as either very sad, it's a sad thing, or they're an angel that have been brought from on high. They're never seen as a human being, as a real three-dimensional human being person. And that's what I saw in that show, particularly with Speechless, is that I would be able to get to do a character that people hadn't seen me do, that was all heart and was there to find himself as well. He was speechless in a way as well. And so to find that relationship with a child with a disability, I think a lot of people hadn't seen that type of friendship, that relationship, and I was very, very proud to be a part of it. I wish it was still on the air.
Me too.
But it was a good time. It was a good run doing that show.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Awesome. Our next question is from Alex Gurley. So go ahead and ask your question.
Hello. My question is, had you already known about Boondocks as the comic strip before you started doing work as Tom in the show? And did you know how groundbreaking that the show would be when you started working on it?
That's a great question. Yeah, I was a huge fan of the Boondocks before the animated series. I was all up in the comic strips. I loved those comic strips, and I have a funny story about auditioning for the show. So I get this audition. They tell me about, this is Tom, blah, 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 blah. So, when an actor or a voiceover actor gets an audition, they get the breakdown of the character. They tell them, Tom, 30s, liberal, straight-laced, and that's about pretty much as much as you get. So when I went in for the audition, I knew the Boondocks. I knew Tom. I knew who that dude was. I came in with my suit. I came in with a red tie. I had the hair, calf, plow, shaved, all very ready to be Tom, right? So come in, and I go to the audition. Aaron Magruder is there. All the big wigs are all behind the table. And I come in and I'm listen, guys, I come in and doing my Tom. They're not looking at me at all. They're just doing that. And I'm mortified. I leave there. How rude of them to do that to me. I was under the impression that it was going to be a live action Boondocks. I didn't know it was an animated series. So they were just listening to the voice. They weren't being rude at all. They were just doing their job. I didn't do my job and know that it was just a voiceover job. But with that said, I guess I was so in it that they really bought what I was doing. And it was so cool. That audition, I saw so many people that I'd known from television. John Amos from Good Times, the dad from Good Times was there. Chili of TLC, she was there. Man, there was just so many, it was like, whoa, everybody's here to audition for this animated series. And no, I didn't know that it was going to be as big and as important to the culture as it has been, as future seeing. There's just so many things that it is seen when we shot or when we recorded it, years ago, that now things are coming into fruition that I did not know that it was so forward looking. A lot of our show, because of it being animated, is we call it evergreen. We will do topics that will always be
relevant,
news.
relatable.
Yes, relatable. because the show isn't like South Park where they get to animate it and then do it right away. It took a long time for our show to be animated because we would ship it to South Korea to have it animated for that anime style. And then we would have it, then it would air. So we would always have, we wouldn't get things for maybe a year, maybe 2 years, And so we would have things that we wrote, that we animated, that would stand the test of time, hopefully, or at least for a while. And so that show has been really amazing. I love doing that show. I love that we are coming back, that we are doing the Boondocks again.
Yeah.
And we're trying to figure out the Spoon part of it. John Witherspoon, who plays Granddad, an amazing force to be reckoned with. He was fantastic. Spoon was great. But we're trying to figure that part out. But I have seen some scripts. They look really good. They're very, very funny.
That's good. His son sounds eerily very similar to him. Like if you see his son imitate his father, if you close your eyes, you would think it was Spoon.
He does an amazing job of his father. I have heard that he auditioned for the show. I don't know that he's gonna do it, but we'll see. There is a difference between sounding like your dad and then sounding like the character,
like Granddad, right?
Like Granddad,
right?
Having someone speak to you in a voice and you can imitate that. That's one thing. But Spoon did a whole other thing than actually talking to him. He was an amazing improviser. That's the other great thing about the Boondocks too, is that a lot of our stuff is improvisation. Gary Anthony Williams, who plays Uncle Ruckus, is one of the best improvisational actors out there. And what he brings to Uncle Ruckus is a lot of just him, just his weird, crazy brain. And they record it to the show. And that's what Spoon did, and that's what I do as well. We improvise a lot on the show. So having the voice is one thing, but also being able to bring that other quality, that other star power that Spoon always brought to every project he did was essential.
Yeah. We've had a lot of voiceover actors on. So we had Chris Sabat, we had Steve Bloom on here. We had Joshua Seth on a couple days ago. It seems like a lot of these people have Andrea, I might be saying her name, or Andrea Young, is that her name?
Andrea Young?
Who's the casting? Andrea Romano. As the casting director. She's got an ear for talent.
Yes, she does. She is a voiceover phenomenon. She voice directs, and she can get you to do something that you never even thought you could do. That's the whole voiceover world is a whole other different thing. They got a whole other thing going on than on camera work, and it's I don't know, it's just a different language. Sometimes even more like generous. Sometimes if you feel like, I don't know if I hit that well, but who I do think is better.
Who?
Or some, that's how a voiceover actor thinks.
Mm-hmm.
As an actor, I'm not telling you at all who I think is better at that role. But I don't know, just voiceover actors seem a little bit more generous.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Andrea Romano, she's amazing. She directed our our episodes of the Boondocks, and she got things out of us that you just didn't think we could. But she's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, we're so happy that the show's coming back. We're gonna get some more questions in here. Go ahead, Leah.
Yeah, Natina, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. You have the next question.
Perfect. My name is Natina. So the question is, as you look forward into your career, either what type of roles or projects are you envisioning yourselves or venture? And then kind of in reverse, and you may have touched on this with Speechless, What role, like, do you think either defined or solidified for you? This is what you wanted to do. Like, this was like really, you know, the work. Like, you picked the right thing.
Okay.
Like,
okay. Is Natina?
Natina.
Natina.
Natina, yes.
Natina.
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 Yes.
By the way, thank you, Alex, for that question. Natina, I guess when I think about my career, I try to envision things where what my audience would want to see in me. I feel that I'm very selective. So when you spend time with me, I want you to get your money's worth or your TV's worth or whatever, or be like, yeah, I like that dude. I like wherever I see him, and I know he's gonna be dope. He's gonna be funny. He's gonna bring something for me. And so I that's what I've always tried to look at things and try to select projects that mean something to me, that I think are first funny, and then that have something to say, and that I'm not wasting my audience's time. That it's not just a paycheck. It's something that I really, really am passionate about. I don't know if I answered that question fully correctly. Did I answer that, Natina?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you don't necessarily have a particular either role or type of role, like if that's the direction with which you're deciding that makes sense.
Yes, also a role that I envision myself in, right? Is that
yes.
We were also asking about that? Yeah, there's all kinds of dreams that I have about, doing things. There's projects that I've written, that's another thing. If you guys don't see me on TV or voiceover working, a lot of people are like, so what do you do? Where are you at? And a lot of us are working on projects. They just aren't produced or being seen by, the main public. But there are a lot of projects that I've tried to put together, or I've written or come up with things that I want to see. I want to see, because I haven't seen that particular story told. I won't divulge which ones and what hopefully it'll happen, so I can surprise you and you go, oh, okay, that might have been the project that he was talking about.
Okay.
So did I answer that question, Natina?
Yes, you answered the question. Thank you.
We're here with Cedric Yarbrough. Cedric, if people want to follow you online, what are some of your social media handles so they can start following you, liking your stuff, and sharing it?
Yeah, I say it's none of your business. Stay away from me. I don't want your followership. No, I'm at Cedric Yarbrough on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay, all right. Yeah. And just for fun, I looked up Thugnificent's Lethal Interjection crew, so we knew who was who. Yes, Otis Jenkins, obviously Thugnificent, who's voiced by Carl Jones. All right. Yeah. Mactastic is voiced by Snoop Dogg. Phenomenal is voiced by Busta. And I didn't know this, but Leonard is voiced by D-Ray.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Davis.
Right. Yeah. So one of your awesome shows that's actually behind Leah. So Leah, you might have to duck down for a second. We're sad that show came to an end as well. You played on BoJack Horseman. Can you talk to us about that? Because these two shows could not be any different from each other.
Yeah. No, that was a great project to be a part of. That one came to me from an amazing casting director that now is escaping my brain. I'll figure it out. But it was such an amazing show because the cast was really, really cool, really great. But it dealt with some subject matter that was really heady and really dramatic and also funny at the same time. And I'm sad that it has ended, but it was so cool to be a part of.
Yeah. Was her name Linda?
Linda,
Lemon. I might be saying.
Yes, La Montagne.
Yes, that's her
Yeah.
name.
She has cast a bunch of roles out here. She's done Family Guy. She's done American Dad. She's done a ton of actual casting for all kinds of shows that you guys know. But that was such a great show to be a part of. Fun to do the table reads, you know, with everyone. And yeah, I'm gonna miss doing that show.
Awesome. So we are streaming on our Facebook as well. And we have a comment from someone, John Huddlemeyer. He says, Black Dynamite is like my favorite movie ever. For sure, my favorite comedy. Cedric killed it with his part. So just want to share that from our Facebook from John.
Thank you, John. John, my name is pronounced Natina.
Cedric. Oh my gosh, I have a staff member named Cedric. That's why I keep doing it.
Listen,
messing me up.
Listen, it's hard because she also has a staff member named Todd. Her name is Tasia, but how
you always say Tasha.
Like Taja. It just looks like it's spelled Taja.
No, it's a T-A apostrophe Tasia.
Not all Black moms are equal. See, because my name is Justin Brown, which is a very generic name because my mom didn't want me to be discriminated when it was time for the job, but then she gave me a unique middle name. So my name is Justin Kyle Brown.
Oh, wait, it's what?
So she gave me a very unique middle name. It's Justin LaKyle Brown.
LaKyle, yeah.
So when I walked across stage to get my master's degree, and they announced me, they said Justin Lackio Brown, and I was like Lackio. And when I sat down, my friend was like, Lackio, are you Hebrew? And I'm like, no.
No.
Oh my gosh.
It's got Black moms. That's all. Yeah.
Cedric, I'm so sorry for mispronouncing your name.
It's totally fine. I'm saying, Justin, you should change your middle name to Is.
Justin Is Brown. Well, I had another funny story about that as well, because when I got my first job, I went to HR and they were like, hi, what's your name? I wrote it down. I was like, I'm Justin Brown. And she was like, is that Brown with an E? And I was like, no, it's Brown, like Brown. She was like, oh, I thought you were Black.
Damn it.
Yeah. Can't make this stuff up. Can't make this stuff up.
You can't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Natina. I apologize for this conversation. I am so sorry.
Man, we should have scheduled.
Cool. I'll take all the smoke. I will take all the smoke.
Can you imagine what that session would have been like if we had scheduled Cedric and Gary Anthony Williams on the same line?
I would have. I'm very apologetic already. I'm so sorry that might have happened. That would have been bad.
Oh, that would have been funny. He's doing a podcast with a friend of his, and Day Drinking with Gary, and we had them both on, and it was really funny.
Yes, yeah, it's a great podcast, and if you like to drink, you get drunk, and that's
Awesome. So we have another question from Lisa. So Lisa, go ahead and ask your other question.
Okay, first of all, as a Black mama, I stand for Black mamas everywhere. We like to be creative with our children's names.
What have you done to your child? What did you do?
Well, this is not my question. Justin, don't laugh at me.
My son's
name is Nicholas without the H. And people jack his name.
Without the H.
Yes.
How are people and they jack it up with what? What do they say?
Because they spell his name with an H, they spell his name with a K, and then he's known as Nico, and then they spell it Niko, and then he gets upset.
Poor Nicholas. Oh, that's sad. Anyway, what's your question?
My question is, well, it's a statement. What advice would you give up-and-coming artists, actors, and entertainers?
Know your shit is my that's what I like to tell people. A lot of people come because they're gorgeous and pretty, and someone told them that they're funny, or someone told them that they're creative or something. But you prove it when you've done the work, when you've studied, when you have you have the sores and black eyes and the rejections to say, yeah, I belong here. That's how it's worked out for me. I know from experience that I've been told no so many damn times, but I also had the experience. I studied to know that I can keep going, because this is what I do. I can't be broken because I did the work, and there's a lot of souls, a lot of spirits get broken out here because they get rejected, or they don't have the background to pursue this career that's very, very difficult. So that's what I say. I say, know your shit, know who you are, don't be a vessel, be a whole human being where you have an actual opinion about things, have an opinion about what kind of comedy you want to do, have an opinion about what it is that you want to project. Who is it that you want? Who are you? And what do you want people to know about you? So that's it. Know your shit.
Okay. Thank you.
And you had a direction of where exactly you wanted to go, because when I was doing my research, I saw that while you were a student, you had a few odd jobs in school to help you get your way through school. Can you talk to us about that? Because I think that that's also part of your vision. You didn't know where you were going to be, but you had the vision of how to get there. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I had a thought about what I wanted to do. I felt like this was, acting and being in the theater. That's what I wanted to pursue. How to pursue it and how to pay for it was another situation for me. So I was able to be as I told you before I went to a major university, I went to a community college, and in that community college, I was a custodial worker. I was a janitor to pay for my bills, to pay for my books, to live. I knew the way to get out of where I was living. I needed education. I needed to be educated. I need to know my shit. So, but I needed it also to pay for my shit. So being a janitor was one of my jobs, to work through school.
Yeah. We're here with Cedric, everybody. Cedric, do you have any upcoming projects we should be looking out for? I know you gave us a hint for one, but do you have anyone? Obviously, the Boondocks is coming back. It's going to be on HBO Max.
HBO Max, yes, that is coming. Like I said, that is a project that I'm so excited to have.
It needs to be back. It's missing. I think that when it came out, it was so pivotal for the culture, and the culture appreciated it because it showed so many different layers of everything that we need to
really groundbreaking. And especially right now in this climate, we really need that voice. We really need a satirical look on Black culture, culture as a whole, and Aaron Magruder's his voice. We need to hear it. And right now, that's out right now. My show Reno 911 is on Quibi. The new Quibi, which is a new app that you can use on your phone, and you can download that, and it's free for the first 90 days. And it's really funny. It's a really funny format, and really great for our particular show for Reno 911. On Quibi, you get it's called Quibi Quick Bites. So every show on this app is about 7 to 10 minutes long. And so on Reno, we always dealt with like these little cases, these little sketches, And so you can enjoy, I guess we have 12 episodes up right now, and they'll take about, a little over an hour, and it's just fun. I think the cast is even funnier than what we were before. The show's always been very funny to me, but I think because of our life experiences, doing other shows, we all got back and we're all like really good at doing Reno 911. It's like a weird Super Friends now type of show where we all have these super comedy powers and we all come back to do this show, and it's really, really funny. I think people are I've heard they're really enjoying it. I think you are going to really like it.
Yeah, I've seen all the releases on IG. I think people are really excited about it. It was one of their favorite shows. So people are excited when things come back. Well, not when just certain things come back, when good things come back. There's certain things that are still on where like this can die out. But
that doesn't need to be back. Please bring that back. But that's also a fun part of being in this business for a while, is that, I'm old enough now that I have projects that can come back, doing another Black Dynamite, might be fun to do.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
We'll see. Hopefully we'll figure out this damn pandemic,
Yeah.
We have some other things to kind of figure out, but I would love to, I've had the pleasure to work with some really talented, really smart individuals that have also trusted me into bringing my type of comedy and the type of image that I want to portray, and we've been able to do some really fun things together. So maybe we will do another Black Dynamite.
Boondocks predicted it, man. The fried chicken flu. They knew it was coming.
They kind of did, yeah. They kind of did.
Yeah. We got one more quick question, and then we're going to wrap up. Do you have time for one more question?
Of course, yes.
Okay, it's from Rowan. Go ahead, Rowan.
Hi, Cedric, thank you for doing this. So my question is, could you walk me through how you perfect a character throughout the character arc?
How do I perfect a character? Let's say we're doing a show like Speechless. Okay. Speechless was a show about, a kid who had a disability, did not speak, and used a communication board to speak. My character was a groundskeeper at the school, and you get kind of a breakdown, like I said earlier, about like what they think of the character is, but it's the actor's job to fill in a lot of those holes. For me, I go, sometimes I go inside out, sometimes I go outside in. I think for that particular character, I made notes. I worked from inside out. I thought the character was all heart. And so I worked from, this guy had this particular background. I made up a background for him about, how he grew up, what music he liked, what girls he dated, has he been married? I answered a lot of questions for myself before I went in and auditioned for the role. So I had a lot of who that guy was. I knew that guy. And that's another part of knowing your shit, is doing that weird homework. As an actor, you got to do that weird homework so a character is fully realized. So when you see me do something, you're like, okay, he's in it. I'm very committed because I've done the work. Reno 911. We shot that stuff 20 years ago, but I still use my notes from 20 years ago about who that guy was. I wrote down where he grew up. Does he chew gum? What kind of donut does he like? Does he like donuts? Does he even like being a cop? How much sex does he have being a cop? How big is his No, I didn't write that part, but I'm just making sure y'all are with me. Yes. Natina, you still there?
I'm still here. I'm still here shaking my head.
But I'm just saying, I'm saying you got it. If you're an actor, you go through those little things to really fully realize the person, so he can leap off the page. So it's not just two-dimensional. You want to make sure that person lives, that person breathes. I do the same thing for voiceover work too. A lot of voiceover stuff. I just make sure that I know my shit.
Absolutely, absolutely. So as we're wrapping up here, you've been dropping gems of knowledge on us this entire broadcast. We just thank you so much for being with us today, spending the time with us. But what we've been doing is we've allowed to have our speakers to have the final say. So if you have a key to life or a way to do things or whatever, you just have the last word. What is that one lasting impression that you would want to leave on the students? And if you want to do it in one of your voice acting voices, we will not complain.
Well, first of all, Justin, why don't the white children speak here? How come you don't let them talk?
I can only call on questions from people who posted in the chat. So Alex, Katrina, Christina, do any of you have any questions?
I don't blame them at all. I blame you, Justin. Why won't you let the white children speak?
I did not allow them to speak. I just guess they didn't speak.
Alex, do you have a question? Do you have something at all to ask? Like, who am I?
Well, I know you as Meow Meow McFuzzyface.
Okay.
I was just wondering, maybe what was your favorite character you've ever played?
You know what? Turn your mic off, Alex. I can't believe you had. No, it's a good question. It like I said before, I really like doing everything. I really do. I will say the Speechless show really has meant the most to me. When I have kids or families that come up to me and say, man, I wish I had a caretaker like you, that means a lot. Or when I meet a kid with special needs and says, I want to be an actor now, because I saw Micah, the actor who played JJ on the show, I saw him act. I saw him do this, and I now I want to pursue that. That makes me feel good. So I would say that has meant the most. That has touched me, the most. That really has. So, good question, Alex. Thank you. Justin.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Are we supposed to leave? Are we supposed to be done?
Yeah, we want to be a good steward of your time. We only asked you for so much time. You gave us more. We're so appreciative, but we want to make sure that we're being a good steward of it.
Well, I have nothing to do. You look at this. I don't have a damn thing to do here.
It looks like a house on a family sitcom. It looks great.
Oh, thank you. I put my computer on my rack here, on my spice rack. So, we can, do all kinds of stuff with it there.
That's funny. But we try to wrap the...
Maybe that's the advice. Hey, y'all, if you're doing a Zoom meeting, put your computer on the spice rack. It makes you look good. Right.
That's funny. That is funny. Well, thank you
I don't have any advice for these guys, other than, be a good person, stay home, and know your shit. That's it.
Yeah. All good words to live by. All good words to live by. And again, if people want to follow you on social media, or maybe they don't, I don't know. All right. Where can they follow you? Like, what are your social media handles? One more time.
Yes. Again, I'm at Twitter is at Cedric Yarbrough, and at Cedric Yarbrough on Instagram.
Shout out to Leah.
I will not live it down. I will not.
Spelled the same.
Well, listen, Leah, what would you say? We had about 53 speakers.
Mm-hmm.
We had about 53 speakers. So like all good things, it must come to an end. We just appreciate everybody joining us. I mean, we see the best for last.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This was fun. Great to meet everyone. Christina, Samar, especially you. You were great. And no, the best of luck to everyone. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much.